In today's video, I'm going to share with you how I did my first creative real estate investing deal. Coming up. What's up, everybody? It's Jamel Gibbs. Welcome to another video. In today's video, what I want to do is share with you how I accidentally did my first creative real estate investing deal. Now, if you haven't had a chance to check out how I did my first wholesaling deal, be sure to check out that video up at the top. I think you'll find that story to be pretty interesting. But today we're going to focus on creative real estate investing. Now, before I jump into all of the details, do me a favor and hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. Also, share this video with some people who are looking to jump into creative real estate investing or real estate investing in general. I put out tons of videos that I think real estate investors can benefit from. So I appreciate your support. All right, so on with the story. So back in 2002, I started off in a real estate business as a fix and flip investor. And if you watch that video that I was just telling you about where I did my first wholesale deal, I actually flipped the business back then and made $1,500 after my first 13 months in the business. Shortly after my first quote unquote wholesale deal as a real estate investor, I got into the fix and flip business. And the reason I got into fixing and flipping is primarily because I had other people who were pretty successful at fixing and flipping telling me that this is what I needed to do in order to make money in real estate. I didn't know any better, so that's exactly what I did. I got into the fix and flip business, right? Now, I became really successful as an investor over time. I made a lot of money by 2006, 2007 as a real estate investor. But when the market tanked, my business took a major hit because I was over leveraged. I had too much money in fix and flip projects, but I couldn't sell a house because nobody was able to get a loan back then. So you can imagine just being in a rock and a hard place at that time. I really wasn't able to sell a house, but I had all of this money out in the market at that time. So my business took a hit and I literally went belly up because of that, which forced me to start doing more wholesaling and accidentally getting into creative investing. So I had to diversify what I was doing. I remember my first creative real estate investing deal, and that's exactly the story that I want to share with you today. So this was a property that came across my desk back in 2008 on 648 Brookline Street in Reading, Pennsylvania. You'll see a picture of it on the thumbnail of this particular video. And this was your ideal seller who just wanted to get out. Remember back then, the market was tanking. People were scrambling for money. People just wanted to dump real estate. They just wanted to get out before they took a major hit. In fact, I was one of those people, and this is what forced me to get into other aspects of real estate. So I had this property at 648 Brookline Street. It was a lead that came across my desk. And this was what they call row homes up north. They call them row homes. I'm in the south right now, but they call them row homes where homes are stuck together, right? The house right next door, so 646 Brookline Street, had a fire, and that smoke damage came through the walls and damaged 648 Brookline Street. Now, the guy who owned 648 Brookline Street was a real estate investor. He owned multiple properties, but he was tired of investing. He was losing money on pretty much all of his properties, and he just wanted to get out of the business at that point. So the lead came across my desk. This guy had collected some insurance money, started rehabbing the house. He did the entire house all over again, did everything except the carpets in the property. So I was able to talk to him and basically find out why he wanted to sell and really get an idea of what he wanted to do with the property. So after discussing the details with him, I found out that he just wanted to cash out. He had $40,000 tied into the deal. Right? So I offered him exactly what he had into the deal. He accepted my offer. But here's how I accidentally became a creative investor at that point. So he had a mortgage on a property for $435 which was his monthly payment. He owed $40,000. I offered him the 40 grand, which was exactly what he had into the deal, but I did it in a form of payments. I asked him if he'll allow me to take over his $435 per month payment, right? Which was technically a creative deal for me at the time. I didn't even know what I was doing. I just asked for it and the guy said yes. So that proves that if you don't know what you're doing, but you find the right seller, they're willing to do anything just to get out of this situation, which means you're a problem solver as a real estate investor, even if you don't know what you're doing yet, right? If you just ask for it, 9 times out of 10 with the right person, you'll be able to get it. But 100% of the time, you won't get it if you never ask, right? At that time, I asked for it. I said, look, I'll give you the $40,000, but would you do what's called a lease purchase at $40,000 and I'll take over the $435 a month? He agreed. So he wasn't making any money on it and he was okay with it. And the reason why we negotiated him not making any money is because I had to go in and put $3,000 worth of carpets into the property. So I locked the deal up at $40,000 on a lease purchase and with a monthly payment of $435 per month. Once we had a signed agreement, I turned around and I put the property up on Craigslist and I received a ton of buyers. I turned around and marked it up to $70,000, knowing that the property was worth $100,000 at that time. So I had a buyer who contacted me, said, hey, I want that property for $70,000. He said, I got $10,000 to put down. He came by to see the property. He said, I'll put the carpets in and you don't have to do anything to the property. This guy gave me 10 grand down. He paid $1,000 per month at that time. And then on top of that, he put the $3,000 in carpets into the property to improve the property. We had that deal for about 12 months. I ended up selling the property to the end buyer for $70,000. He got a mortgage after 12 months for $60,000. I collected over the course of the 12 months the difference between $435 and $1,000 per month, right? So it was like almost $600 per month in cash flow. This was, we're talking years ago, so I can't even remember what the number was at the time. But think about that. I collected money up front. I collected money every month. And then I collected another $20,000 on the back end once we sold the property. So the $10,000 up front was cash in my pockets. The $500 plus, almost $600 per month was cash flow to take care of whatever I wanted to take care of every single month. And then on the back end, the $20,000 was just extra money to be able to do something else with. These are your typical creative real estate investing deals. And I sold that property the way that I bought the property. I bought the property on a lease purchase, so I sold it on a lease purchase. And I basically did what's called a sandwich lease option. I squeezed myself in between a deal. I stayed in the deal and I made a ton of money off of basically taking over somebody else's house who didn't want the house anymore. And the reason why I wanted to get this video out to you today is because we're experiencing a seller's market right now and people are scrambling to find deals. And the problem with people scrambling to find deals, the real reason they're scrambling to find deals is primarily because they're looking for huge discounts, because that's what they were taught by brand new wholesalers that just came in and they're teaching people over the last handful of years. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm not knocking anybody for what they do. But when the market shifts, you have to shift with the market, right? So what do? You become a creative investor. And when you become a creative real estate investor, guess what? You get to pay more for a house. I bought properties for top market value. I just put up a video not so long ago where I purchased a house in Tallahassee, Florida. Never been there a day in my life, but I purchased that property for top market value. I gave the seller exactly what they were asking, but I'm making money on this property. I made money up front. I'm making money every single month, and I'll make a lot of money on the back end once we cash out. So creative real estate investing, unlike wholesaling, will allow you to get deals in today's market. And yes, you can find wholesale deals as well. We're doing it all the time, right? In fact, I just had a student who locked up 9 houses at a discounted price. She got $880,000 worth of real estate for 320 grand and just got a buyer for the entire package for $370,000. In fact, she got it for $310,000 and she's gonna make $60,000 in profit. Her first wholesale transaction. Wholesale deals are out there, but when you incorporate creative real estate investing into the equation, whether it be lease option or some other creative style of investing, you'll really allow yourself to be able to capitalize on today's market because you can typically pay more than what everybody else can pay. So just like how I accidentally got into the creative real estate investing game, and I paid the seller exactly what he wanted for the property, and then I turned around and sold the deal creatively, and I made money up front and every month and on the back end, those same deals exist right now. And if you want more information on how you can become a creative real estate investor while still wholesaling houses, check out my hybrid wholesaling training program. You can check out the link in the description box. I actually put together an online training that you can watch about 60 minutes long, which will provide you with all of the details on how to become a wholesaler and a creative real estate investor and capitalize on today's market. Be sure to check that out in the description box. That's how I did my first creative deal. It was actually a lease option deal, which is one of 4 strategies that I show you in that online training if you check it out in the description box below. And I was able to collect over $30,000 in profits in less than 12 months on my first creative deal by accident. So imagine what I was able to do once I actually knew what I was doing. If you can make that money by accident, even in today's market, imagine what you can do with a little bit of information. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.